AKAI just released a new version of the MPC 3 firmware. In this video, I'm using the MPC Key 37, but it works with all the MPCs in standalone. If you need information about how to install the OS, all you have to do is go to the link in the description box where it will be an official video from AKAI Professional, but I want to get down to business. So I have the sample right here, and I want y'all to guess what sample this is. Leave a comment below. That's all y'all gonna get because, you know, copyright claims and all that. So what I'm gonna do here is go into process from sample edit, and I won't choose this card because I might need that still. So what I'll choose is extract, and I will make a new version of it. It'll be called Kali 1. So do it, and now we have Kali 1 right here. So now I have a perfect loop. This is an 8-bar loop. What I'm going to do now is introduce you to stem separation, which brings me to this point. They have improved the algorithm for stem separation on the MPCs in standalone. So what I'm going to do is extract it. Now all I have to do after stem separation is just go up here, make sure that you have this selected, and then I can play like all the bass and all this other stuff that's in there. So here's the quality of the bass after stem separation. Keep in mind that you always go into process and then normalize stuff too. That's a thing. So let's go ahead and normalize that so y'all can hear it some more. And that's the quality. And then the drums. The drum quality it's okay. It's workable. And then the chords. It took away the strings, but I have an idea for that part. You can always play the strings back. So I know I'm gonna sample this. So what I do is go into process, normalize, boom. FYI, if you have like small chops that have big chops in there, so this is louder than this part, what you can do is just go over here and add a compressor, and you can add it in your effects tab right over here. I'm gonna just turn it on, and then you can hear the difference. And this is with it off. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a quick tip. I'm gonna lay out this bass line real quick. Beat up don't matter on the MPCs. So I want to show you slice the audio tracks. So what I'm going to do is navigate over here and just go into sample edit on your MPC, your respective one. And what I'm going to do is see if I can add some more drums to this beat, even though it doesn't need it. Make sure that you go back into trim mode. And what we're going to do is count the beats, or count the bars really. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to make sure that I put the marker on there. I will use the end marker and then zoom in and then press on this pad right over here. You'll see my hand at the left side of your screen. And what it's going to do is it's going to loop it. If it's successfully a loop, then it should sound right? That sounds very good. I'll just tighten it up just a little bit more. So I'll just go over here to the end, and then I'll just tighten it up a little bit. And then if we have to, we can just pull the screen. Let's go ahead and practice the Q link. Remove that out the way. And then we'll just listen to it. I like that. Let's see if we can blend that in somehow. The next thing you want to do is go over here to trim, and then make sure that you're in chop mode. It's says to use threshold or regions chop or manual chopping to show this off, but I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can do something in BPM. What you should do from here is press and hold shift on your MPC and then go into convert. From here, what I'll do is I'll go over to audio tracks from samples. From audio track from samples, I will uncheck the warp enabled, and then I will make sure that the bars are set correctly. We counted out 4 bars, right? So once we do that, we'll make sure it's create a new track because we want a new audio track. We'll hit do it. Now from here, I will press menu, suppress and hold menu, and then go to the arranger so we can see it in the arranger. And as we can see, there's some new audio over here and it isn't warped, and I didn't set the BPM correctly or anything. Let's play it back. Whoa. So we can get more detail, I will open up this menu right here, in which you can also stretch because it's vectoral, and we can look at it as it's being played. Now choose follow, so y'all can see it when it stops. So the drums matched, even though I don't have it time stretched or anything like that. I will just go over here, and then I'll go to the channel mixer, the new channel mixer, and then I will turn down the drums. Actually, I will mute my original drums so that we can have the actual. That is crazy. What I'll do is go into the threshold mode. So I'll go right back into sample edit. And then what we'll do is select, or actually first, let's go ahead and do threshold. And now from threshold, we'll just go over here and press shift and convert, and we'll convert that over. So the exact same way, hit do it, boom, and we should have an audio track again. We should have a new one, which is this yellow one right here. And what I'll do is I'll play the difference in between the BPM chopping and threshold chopping here. Let's hear that. Let's go ahead and mute the other one, and then we'll play with the new one with the chops. I want to see it. I gotta see it, bro. That's crazy. Oops. Still getting used to this. And of course, you can stretch it out the exact same way. We'll let it follow. I'm cool with time stretching, but some people have a thing about time stretching having this weird artifacting in it, the aliasing. But I think it's a healthy alternative if you are just stuck with the way the drums are and you just wanted to chop it up into different regions or different thresholds so you can lay it out and have the same results. Other than just bouncing the track down from a certain BPM after timing it correctly and all that stuff. And then people just don't like the aliasing either. But now we got to get into the here. Dun, dun, dun. So the track mutes work per sequence like they did in the original MPCs. First thing we need to do is hit the pencil sign right here, and then we'll choose copy sequence. And then we'll choose sequence 2, and then we'll just name it something. We'll just name it flip for right now. I'll hit do it, and now we're brought into the new sequence that says flip. And then the next thing you'll do is just hit your track mute button, and then we'll hit this cogwheel sign where you'll see track mute state per sequence, track mute events right automation, track mutes and solo events are undoable, and then use track colors. Make sure that that's checked. And then now we'll just mute whatever we want. So let's mute all these right here. If I go into sequence number 2, it should be different. And as you can see on the screen, it is different. So if I was to play this sequence, this is sequence 1, and now this is sequence 2. So now you can go back into doing the old school way of going into song mode and arranging it there. And then you could just go into song mode, and let's just say you have your different sequences. You can sequence it out the exact same way. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you convert back into a sequence itself. So you would pick out maybe number 3 is empty because I haven't done anything. And I can include muted tracks, which most people would. And then you just hit do it and it will do it. I would like to note, in the old way, all you had to do is just press overdub and play start while you was on the track mute screen. That is also a part of what people complain about, and I can totally get why. However, this is how you would do it now. To simply record any of your track mutes, you would hit this automation sign right here and make sure that you have track mute events on here. So track mute events, right automation, make sure that that's on, and then you can turn it on to red. Once you turn on the red or whatever, make sure that you have the pads muted before time, because otherwise it's going to be a pain. So we just record it in. Then after, when you're done, you can just hit the automation right over here. Make sure that you turn the automation off, and everything's gonna play like it would normally. And if I wanted to just show you, and as an example, I'll go back to my main sequence over here, and it's nothing else but that. So everything is different. Like, all the track mutes are unique to the sequence itself. So my overall feelings about the MPC 3 update, I think it's better than what we expected, especially the stem separation. That actually caught me off guard a little while ago. I mean, you know, I'm kind of plugged in. I ain't gonna even hold you. A lot of y'all figure that. But so I think a lot of the stem separation stuff at the very beginning wasn't as thorough as it was now. And the quality is easier to work with than before. There's improvements, but you know, it's still not one of one if you was to put it to the MPC software. However, it's good enough for me to rock with it. The track mute thing, I always knew that the track mute thing was gonna be there, but I also knew that it was gonna fix it. So I didn't want to make a panic or anything like that. I understand there are people that have their opinion about the situation and whatnot, and I think it's good that we have this conversation because it just keeps AKAI on their toes, and AKAI has been on their toes for a minute, you know, in a good way. The new sampling feature, I like it. I don't know if I will utilize it as much, but I'm glad that it's there, because there's something about that way of chopping. Well, for it to chop on the grid the way it does on a different BPM and still function is crazy, because that gives a lot of other ideas in terms of just chopping up drum loops, and then you don't necessarily have to worry about the BPM or anything as long as you got the 4 count right. That's the important thing. But I definitely want to know other people's concerns about the MPC beta, because once we move on to the release, I don't want people to think that the things that they enjoy about the older MPCs are being overlooked, and I believe that AKAI has that same idea. And since I have a voice in the community, you know, I will, and if you are using the beta, make sure that you report it back to the people, you know what I'm saying, over there. I know y'all want to get in the comment sections and stuff like that, but that's cool, because that helps as well, and I do appreciate you guys showing up no matter what. To the right of me, I have more content. Make sure that you subscribe. Tell me how you feel about the new update. Now that they have track mutes back to where they used to, or at least somewhat the way that they're used to be, it's still good.